joining on our weekend Bhagavatam sessions. So, as you know, we invite wonderful devotees on weekends so we can have a Shravanam from their Mukharavinda, their lotus mouth. So, today we have His Grace Sridama Prabhu with us, who will be speaking on this wonderful topic, which is very, very important in our Krishna conscious journey, the importance of Guru or the spiritual master. So His Grace Sridama Prabhu is an excellent devotee and has so many devotional qualities. His amazing kirtan, his loving attitude, his humility, and his leadership, his financial acumen, and in so many ways, how he handles every situation is like a learning experience. Every time I see him, every time I interact with him, and anyone else for that matter, anyone who comes in contact always learns from his wonderful role model. So we are very, very blessed to have him in his association in our Tampa congregation, actually. So Prabhuji is a wonderful disciple of His Holiness Dhanvir Goswami Maharaj and has served in unlimited capacities in the Kansas City Temple as well. And currently Prabhuji is in Tampa. That's our good fortune. So we can have more physical association as well, not just virtual. So Prabhuji, we welcome you with the garland of gratitude, and we are very, very grateful to you for accepting this invitation to speak Bhagavatam. So we welcome you with loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, over to you, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Shubhavilas Prabhuji, and other devotees. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share whatever little I know. I was just telling Shubhavilas Prabhuji, I'm not going to say anything new. Whatever I've learned from great devotees like him, I'm just going to share my thoughts on that. So what we will do, we'll begin with a very brief invocation. Then I believe we are going to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 24, and the verse is 50. I think it's a very, very significant verse. We'll discuss about that, but let's first start with a brief invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Sampadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So, if I have the ability to share, I think we can go to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The canto is 8. The chapter is 24. The verse number is 50. I can read the first time. It would be nice if at least 2, 3, or 4 other devotees can also read. Then we can read the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Achaksur andasya yatagrani kritas tata janas vidu sabhudo guru tvamarkadrik sarvadrisham samsiksano vrito gururna swagatim bubutsatam. Would anyone else like to recite?
Achakshur andhasya yathang grinikritas tatha janasya vidusho abudho guruhu Tvam arkadrik sarvadrisham samikshano vrito gururna swagatim bubhu satam.
I can try, Prabhuji.
Please, Prabhu.
Achakshuranadasya yatha hrinattatas tata gnanasya vidso abudo guru tvam arkadrek sarva rasam samikshano rato gururna swagatim babu satam. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Mataji's.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Achakshurandhasya yatha grahani kritas tatha janasya vidusho buddha guruhu tvamarkadrak sarvadrisham samikshana brato gururna swagatim satam. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else, devotees? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, correct. Please go.
May I try?
Please.
Dandatnam. Acha shukradhansya yatha granihi krata tatha chanasya vidusho abuto guru tvam karta krat sarva trisham samikshano vrito gurun swagatim bubutsatam. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Someone would like to read the word by word translation? Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Achakshu, one who does not have his power of sight. Andhasya, for such a blind person. Yata, as. Agrahna, the leader who got first. Krata, accepted. Tata, similarly. Gnanasya, such a person. Avidusha, who has no knowledge of the goal of life. Abudha, a foolish rascal. Guru, the spiritual master. Tvam, your leadership. Arkadrik, appear like a sun. Sarva Disam, of all source of knowledge. Samikshana, the complete seer. Rata, accepted. Guru, the spiritual master. Na, our. Swagatim, one who knows his real self-interest. Bhubut Satam, such an enlightened person. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Haribol Prabhu. Thank you so much. That was very nice. Anyone would like to read the translation?
I can read, Prabhu.
Please, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As a blind man being unable to see, accept another blind man as his leader. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and fool. But we are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone would like to read the purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The conditioned soul, being wrapped in ignorance and therefore not knowing the goal of life, accepts a guru who can juggle words and make some display of magic that is wonderful to a fool. Sometimes a foolish person accepts someone as a guru because he can manufacture a small quantity of gold by mystic yogic power. Because such a disciple has a poor fund of knowledge, he cannot judge whether the manufacture of gold is the criteria for a guru. Why should one not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, from whom unlimited number of gold mines come into being? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate All the gold mines are created by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, why should one accept a magician who can manufacture only a small portion of gold? Such gurus are accepted by those who are blind, not knowing the goal of life. Maharaja Satyavrata, however, knew the goal of life. He knew the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he accepted the Lord as his guru. Either the Supreme Lord or his representative can become guru. The Lord says, Mamev ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. One can get relief from the clutches of Maya as soon as he surrenders unto me. Therefore, it is the Guru's business to instruct his disciple to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he wants relief from the material clutches. This is the symptom of the Guru. The same principle was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yare Dekha Tare Kaha Kṛṣṇa Upadesha. In other words, one is advised not to accept a Guru who does not follow the path of instruction given by Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Haribol, thank you so much, Mataji. That was wonderful. Now, Srila Prabhupada said to really learn Bhagavatam or even to discuss, the best thing is to read the verse, read the translation, read the purport. That's it. People like me are not really qualified to discuss on Bhagavatam. We do not qualify. But what we are trying to do here is just share whatever our kind of understanding. And so please feel free to pause me if you have any questions or any doubts, or if you think there is some corrections needed in my presentation, please do not hesitate to interrupt so that we all can, learn more. And that is the purpose of discussion. So when Shubhavilas Prabhuji asked me to talk about this particular verse, I would be very honest. I didn't know what exact verse was it, but when I read it, it is so fascinating. It is so relevant. It was relevant maybe 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. It's relevant now. That is why these, high wisdom are called Sanatana Dharma. They are eternally true. So to begin with a recap of what is going on, Satyavrata, he has come in contact with the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord has appeared as a fish. Now, why should the Lord appear as a fish? He can. Why not? He's everything. An Sarvasa Prabhava. Why cannot he appear as fish? He can appear as anybody. 2 weeks ago, we had Lord appearing as Narasimha Bhagavan, half lion, half man. He can appear in any form. How many times? Maybe million times. But in most of his appearance, or in all the appearances, the purpose is to protect the devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita. When it is said protect, it is not necessarily just protection, but is loving interaction with the devotees. As mentioned in Ramayana, the main purpose of the Lord's creation on all the situation is that the Lord is giving us an opportunity to serve him. So here, Kṛṣṇa, he is kind of using Satyavrata in his Leela. Otherwise, he can perform everything. He doesn't really need anybody's help per se to do any activity. He's not dependent on anyone. Rather, we devotees are 100%, maybe 200% dependent on Kṛṣṇa for everything. So Satyavrata completely understands that. So he has taken this fish in his palm, and it, as we know in the past few verses, it keeps on growing from palm to the jug, and then maybe some bucket, then from there to well to lake, lake to river, now river to ocean. And does someone remember how long is this fish? Anyone remember? It was mentioned in a couple of verses earlier.
8,000 miles.
Can you say that again, Mataji?
8,000 miles long.
Actually, it is 8 million miles. We cannot visualize those things. We are finite. Kṛṣṇa is infinite. That is the one of the main problem why we are having so much difficulty understanding Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa himself says in Bhagavad Gita, it's very difficult to understand him, but the devotees can understand him very nicely. Bhakta mam abhijanati. The devotees can understand. Is the Lord 8 million miles? Can he expand? Definitely he can expand. Devotees have no doubt about it. But if you go outside, talk to a layman, say that, I know a personality who can expand 8 million miles. They may try to put this in an iPhone or some logarithm. It will not even work because we are limited, very finite. So here, anyhow, the Lord has appeared. He is saying that he's going to protect them. It's going to be the end of the Yuga. And this flood, it's a massive flood. We have some glimpse of what is a massive flood, like tsunami and so on. But this is going to cover the 3 planetary system. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. Everything will be immersed. But Kṛṣṇa says, I have come here to protect you. Satyavrata is a great devotee. I come here to protect you. And of course, other rishis and, everybody, whoever is there, is going to protect them. And that is the main purpose of his appearance as fish. So devotees should understand here that the Lord is infinite. First, we have to understand he is unlimited potential. The phrase Bhagavan cannot be applied to everybody. Bhagavan means is the Bhagyavan, the owner of all opulences, all. So he's completely unlimited. So here, the question is that Satyavrata very nicely is talking about the conditioned soul and how one blind man is dependent on another blind man to reach a destination. Exactly that is what is happening in today's world. We see so many self-proclaimed, acclaimed gurus, and people believe in them, and their following and followership is in millions. They say that I have a guru, 25 million people follow him. So how do we deal with such a situation? How do we make a judgment? A devotee has to make a good discrimination. It's part of discrimination here is in a very positive reference. We are not going to be biased towards somebody, but discrimination meaning discrimination between what is in alignment with Kṛṣṇa and what is not in alignment with Kṛṣṇa, what is in alignment with dharma, what is adharma. We need to make that discrimination. But we see that in the modern times, nobody really cares about anything anymore. They don't want even spend any time on that. So that is what here Satyavrata is saying, that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Oh Kṛṣṇa, ultimately, Kṛṣṇa is our Guru, ultimately, no doubt about that. From him comes all the knowledge, So, and then here also, in the end, Srila Prabhupada is very nicely saying, this same principle was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yare Deka Tare Kaha Kṛṣṇa Upadesa. Now, this will lead to the main discussion for today, that the importance of Guru. The beginning of this purport starts with, if one fool depended on another fool, but Srila Prabhupada ends the purport with saying, you go and preach everybody. Seems like the rules are a little bit changed here for the devotees. Why so? What should we know about the Guru? Who shall we accept someone as a Guru? What shall we follow? What is the philosophy and so on? So if I may, are there any questions at this point on this purport? Okay, if not, please allow me to change one second, let me. Are we able to see the board?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, when we talk about Guru, we normally hear somebody like a stock guru. I know somebody, is a guru in the stock. We know a tax guru. I put that because I'm related with the tax work. Sports guru, then finance guru. These are all the phrases we hear every now and then in TV, in news, discussions. Guru is a very common term right now. But we need to understand what is the definition of a guru. A guru, obviously, this is Vedavyas. He is our utmost guru. He is Kṛṣṇa himself. We'll now very briefly see there are so many definitions of a guru, but I thought the most relevant was from the Sanskrit guru. It has got two components. The first one is gu, which means darkness. The second one is ru, that means remover of darkness. So the guru is one who removes the darkness from our whatever thinking, knowledge, heart. Because this ignorance is the most deficiency that we have. There is a saying that never underestimate the power of ignorance. So we got so much ignorance. That's why whenever we, at least in the ISKCON, Gaudiya kind of process, we always start with Om Ajnana Timirandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Oh Guru, please remove the darkness. Take me from this darkness to the enlightenment. Without Guru's help, it's not going to happen. Like a surgeon, only a surgeon can perform surgery. How about we go to somebody, a carpenter, a tailor? He also can cut very nicely with scissors. How many of us are willing to go to a tailor and, get a surgery done? We will not go because we have that much of intelligence. No, it's not going to work. Even though he may be a good, he knows how to cut very precisely. Similarly, but when it comes to Guru, we completely ignore everything. We spend so much time in petty things, even for something like a paper towel, or maybe some milk, or anything to do with household item. We run from one store to another store to save 50 cents and $1. Don't get me wrong, saving is always good, but to what extent? And when it comes to the most precious thing that we possess, what is the most precious thing we possess, devotees? Any thought?
Our consciousness, intelligence.
Yes, the consciousness, the soul. The soul belongs to Kṛṣṇa. It is so pure, but we really don't want to understand. We don't spend any time with that. That's why we see in today's world, especially in a country like India, there is a guru being made every other day, and there is a new God being created almost every other week. They come, they say, and they are giving title of Bhagavan also. And people are ready to accept. Why? Because they don't want to take the time. They don't want to spend the energy and effort to try to understand the highest philosophy. So that is something, that's why our Shastras are so important to understand who is a guru, who shall we follow. And we are so fortunate to have this Gaudiya philosophy. Everything is very nicely structured. One more time, let us say Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, because without his mercy, we would not be having even this kind of an understanding. Who is a guru? What is Shastra? Who is Bhagavan? And so on. So let's go to the next. As I mentioned, Kṛṣṇa is the ultimate guru for all of us. So what do we need to analyze? What philosophy shall I follow? There are so many concepts, so many sadhus. Many times we hear that I wanted my son to go to a good college and I met with the Baba. Everything worked out so nice, and I think that Baba is my God. It's, some accepting somebody as very, respectable is good thing. There's nothing wrong in that. But is he God? Is he Bhagwan? That's what we're going to ask. That's what Satyavrata is trying to say. His prayers are that. We are so, we are acting like fools. Narada Muni says, especially in this age of Kali, this Kali is considered as Manda. Manda means dull. Our knowledge is dull. Our intelligence is dull. Our strength is dull. Everything is dull. So in this situation, what shall we do? How do we kind of discriminate what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing? So I thought we'll come up with this 3S. Before we accept anybody as a guru or a philosophy, let's analyze this. The S number 1 is Shastra. Is the so-called guru, is he talking on the basis of Shastra? If we analyze devotees today, again going back to something like India or even all over the world, you will hardly find anybody basing their knowledge they are imparting, it's based on a Shastra. They just pick up here and there. And we are so fortunate, the Veda, the knowledge base that we have, so much. No other philosophy can even come closer to it. What do we have as Shastra? We have the 4 Vedas, the Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharva. We have the 18 Puranas, almost totaling about 400,000 verses. We have the 108 Upanishad. Then we have the Ramayana, the first poem ever made, Ramayana. And then the Mahabharata, the longest poem as of date, with 100,000 verses and maybe 200,000 plus sentences. And of course, Bhagavad Gita. And the jewel of the crown of all Puranas, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. After reading all this thing, one should not have doubt what is a Shastra and who is a Sadhu and who is Bhagwan. So we need the Shastra which we have, but we are not utilizing it. Most of the people, they don't even know the difference between Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Śrīmad-Bhagavad Gita. I know several elevated people, they are completely thorough in Bhagavad Gita. They can read the verse kind of in reverse order, from verse 700 to verse 1. But if you ask them who is Kṛṣṇa, they don't have a good answer. They think Kṛṣṇa is part of some energy and he is a representative of someone and is giving us this knowledge. My question is that they have a Kṛṣṇa's deity when they present this kind of a lecture or discourse, and then every other verse has got Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So which portion of Bhagavan they don't understand? Why there is confusion? That is why we got to go back to Kṛṣṇa himself. Bhakta Mam Abhijanati. Only the devotees can understand this. That is why Srila Prabhupada has very nicely titled some of the chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 9 is confidential matter. What is the confidential information? It's already open. Bhagavad Gita as it is there. Anybody can read it, but they don't really read it. They don't get the essence. That is why it is called Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada has tried to give the intention of Kṛṣṇa. That is what a devotee does. So we need the Shastra which we have. There is no problem in that. Then the S2, we need a guru. We will discuss a little more after this slide. The guru should be someone who comes in some parampara. We are not creating this. This is already informed by Kṛṣṇa, chapter 4. He says, Evam parampara praptam. This highest philosophy, science, realization can be understood only if somebody can explain through this parampara system. So if the self-proclaimed and acclaimed gurus, you ask them, which parampara do you belong? Devotees, 9 out of 10 will not have a parampara. and they may not even a proper Shastra. So because they don't have these two, the S3, which is very important, Shyamasundara, Kṛṣṇa is missing. Let me bring Kṛṣṇa to full, yeah. So Shyamasundara and Kṛṣṇa is missing. Without Kṛṣṇa, the Shastra is not full, it's very incomplete. The Guru is totally incomplete if the Guru does not guide us to Kṛṣṇa. There are so many different philosophies. There is one philosophy that says aliens came, they created all this thing, they are watching us from UFO. Very nice. Most people don't know how they came here, why they are here, and what are they going to do next. They don't know. Most people say that I'm going to live one day at a time. That's the Western phrase. I really don't care about past. I really don't care about the future. All I know is today, can I be happy? Unfortunately, they're not happy even today. That's the problem. Whereas when we understand everything nicely, we have the Shastra, we have a Guru who kind of explains the Shastra. Otherwise, there are 600 versions of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, each one giving his own interpretation. As I said, I have heard this from so many elevated so-called gurus. They would read chapter 12. How can after reading chapter 12 in Bhagavad Gita, you can have a doubt? Chapter 12, very relevant question asked by Arjuna. Oh, Kṛṣṇa, you have explained, Kṛṣṇa has already explained so many things about him in chapter 10, 11. That is everything. Am Sarvasa Prabhu. Now, some people might say, since Kṛṣṇa is everything, why not I just go and treat my uncle or my neighbor as a god? Yes, you can, but that's a very limited understanding. Why do you want to do that when Kṛṣṇa is there? He is the source of everything. So chapter 12, Arjuna is asking, Kṛṣṇa, you explained so much. How do we interact with you? How do we worship you? Kṛṣṇa says the 12.2, 12.3, about 7-8 verses. The first one is, Arjuna, worship me as I am right now, which is in the Shyamasundara form. That is what we have to do. And then he gives some option also. If you cannot do that, my question is that why won't we be able to accept Kṛṣṇa? Why we have to go to other options of, Brahman, Paramatma? Yes, those are all good. When we take up is Kṛṣṇa consciousness, everything is covered. The Brahman aspect is already covered. The Paramatma is covered. And we are getting the most wonderful, the Bhagavan concept also. Otherwise, there are so many, 90% of today's philosophy, just if at all, stops at Brahman level. That's it. They will talk about everything. After reading all these Puranas and, it could be million verses. And what is the conclusion? We don't know who is God. Why? Why should we be in such a situation? Srila Prabhupada said that each devotee should become a spiritual attorney, spiritual lawyer. What is a spiritual lawyer? You don't go and fight with everybody like you see in the contemporary attorney, but he said that you kind of defend properly what is Kṛṣṇa, what is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So in that aspect, that is what Srila Prabhupada is saying in that verse, the purport. Yare deka jare kaha Kṛṣṇa upadesa. How can we do that unless we understand all this thing? How many people would even understand we need a Shastra to follow a Guru? How many of us would understand that the Guru should come in a proper parampara? And after even complying with all those things, how do we know there is a Bhagavan? In most today's the spiritual kind of groups or cults, there is no Bhagavan. S3 is completely missing. There is no. That's it. Most of them stops, if at all, at Guru. That's it. Ultimate destination, Guru. Guru is good. Guru is a representative of Kṛṣṇa, but he is not Kṛṣṇa. One time, one devotee, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, are you Kṛṣṇa? Prabhupada immediately chastised him in front of everybody in a very serious way. He said that never say that one more time. There is only one Kṛṣṇa. Bhagavan Sri Krishna. There's nobody else can become Bhagavan Krishna. Don't even say that. But right now, if you will see that there are so many gurus, they want to add Bhagavan to the
ਜੇ
title.
ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਸਟ ਗ੍ਰੇਡ ਜਾਓਗੇ ਨਾ, ਫਿਰ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ, ਥਰਡ, ਫੋਰਥ, ਫਿਫਥ.
Sorry, Prabhu.
That was
Sorry,
the background noise, Prabhuji.
Please continue. Sorry, someone is not on mute.
Am I missing something?
Please continue. Someone was not on mute.
Oh.
It's taken care.
So we need to analyze that. What is the Shastra is saying? Who is a guru? And definitely we need, our destination is Krishna. And guru is that link. He's in the middle. The guru is the bridge between Shastra and Krishna. So if any philosophy, we may have so many groups, so many associations that we know. They are also preaching something. They are preaching yoga, how to do yoga and be happy and so on. But in my humble thinking, we should follow these three. Unless someone satisfied all these three, we are not on the right path as far as at least spiritually concerned. So why this picture is so nice in the ISKCON Kansas City Temple. We have this in a very in one of the walls. My Guru Maharaj did a very nice job. He put all this very nicely. So anyone who enters the temple, the first thing they would see is this parampara. Why this parampara is very important? Because Krishna, as I mentioned, Krishna himself says, Evam parampara praptam. So this is, can someone be in this kind of a lineage? Look how strong it is. From Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to Brahma, to Narada Muni, Vedavyas, Madhvacharya, so many acharyas, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What a strong link is here. I've not seen anything like this in any other, kind of following or group or religion. This is absolutely from the absolute truth, which is Krishna. That is why this is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. It's coming directly from Krishna to Brahma. He imparts it to Narada Muni and so on. Vedavyas is here. The number 5 is Madhvacharya. And the 22 is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course, 32 is our very dear Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. We are ever indebted to Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, we would not be having this class at this point of time. I would not be definitely speaking at this point of time. And then, followed by this is our Guru Maharaj, all the acharyas, the senior devotees. So, Jare Deka Tare Kaha seems to be a little bit contradictory to the verse where Satyavrata is saying, a fool is dependent on another, blind man is dependent on another blind man. Here, even Srila Prabhupada is saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also prescribed the same thing. Anybody can become a guru, but once if he satisfies this, the devotees are very well, there are no doubt. The best thing I've seen in this Krishna consciousness process is that there is no speculation. There's nothing to imagination. Why it is everything is answered. Actually, our Shastra is so wonderful. Bhagavad Gita is a question and answer session with an elevated devotee, Arjuna, asking all the questions to the Lord, Krishna. And he's giving, for each question, Krishna is almost giving 6-7 verses. Do we know how many verses Lord Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita? Any idea? He spoke 574 verses. Arjuna spoke about 84. I believe then left is about, Sanjaya spoke about 41, I believe. And Dhritarashtra, he spoke only 1. He wanted to know how his sons are doing. That was his only question. So that shows the elevation. So this parampara is very important, devotees. Whenever we come across somebody who's saying, I have a fantastic guru, he's so good, he may be good in Shastra, he may be a good guru, he may also have some parampara. Please do not misconstrue that this is a criticism against other kind of followings or belief. No, not at all. Everybody has a right as children of God to have their own interaction with God and their gurus. But the question we have to ask, at least it is said that we really don't have any free will. We are completely dependent on Kṛṣṇa. But if at all, if we have a free will, the number one free will we have is whether we are going to try to understand Kṛṣṇa or not. If we are not going to kind of use that opportunity, it's a missed opportunity. Srila Prabhupada said, after obtaining this human form, which is a very, very high elevated position, if we are not going to take the time to understand Kṛṣṇa, it's almost like a spiritual suicide. Why are we wasting this body that has been given to us? You know. So any questions, devotees, so far? Okay. If not, we'll go to the next slide. When we talk about Guru, actually for us, the ISKCON devotees, it's very simple. We can talk about a Guru hours and hours because of our Srila Prabhupada. When you think about Srila Prabhupada, devotees, what comes to your mind when you think about Srila Prabhupada?
Books, Prabhuji.
Very elevated soul.
What was that? I heard one more answer.
Very elevated soul, very dear to Kṛṣṇa.
Very correct. Very correct. Anyone else?
All the sacrifices he made.
Eminent Shiksha Guru.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, all of them are correct.
The great preacher, Srila Prabhupada is great preacher. Spread the Krishna consciousness in the whole world.
Perfect. Very nice answer. At least I feel when I think about Srila Prabhupada, immediately Kṛṣṇa comes to my mind. That's it. I don't even think about anything else. Yes, he did so many things for Kṛṣṇa, but first, that is what is a Guru. The Guru doesn't take away your attention or concentration. Whereas if you see today, again, devotees, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to compare with any other gurus. We don't need to compare. We have a fantastic philosophy here. We got a fantastic Guru. We have the most fantastic Supreme Personality of God and Kṛṣṇa. So we don't have to really compare anything. We'll just advance in our path. But if you think about some other Guru, first thing, it stops there. What is beyond the Guru? That is not the purpose of the Guru. The Guru leads us to God, higher realization. Is very instrumental in that. But if some philosophy, if some following stops at Guru, it needs some analysis. That is the question. Atato brahmasa jignasu. Who am I? Why I have to do certain things? So when we think about Guru, I really, in the modern times at least, I don't think there has been such a pure, such an elevated, such a talent in everything, a Guru like Srila Prabhupada. And who is coming in the parampara? That is also very important. Again, there may be so many people, they may be very learned, perfect in Sanskrit, so many shastras, but the question is that, are they following as per the parampara? So, a Guru should be approached not for any material benefit. This is the most important thing. Nowadays, when you talk about a Guru, the first thing everybody is seeking is that, can I get some material benefit? Can my kids go to a good school? Can I get promotion? Can my daughter get married? Can my son have another son? Can I live 80 years without any problem? Always with some material benefits. But Srila Prabhupada taught us, the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, come out of it. That is the best achievement. That is the best benefit you can get from any Guru. And Srila Prabhupada said that if you chant 16 rounds, if you follow the 4 principles, I guarantee you, that is the power of the Guru. Even if Kṛṣṇa is not convinced, even if Kṛṣṇa is not happy, the guru will make him as a reference. We see that in modern day life also. The leader, CEO may not be so much impressed, but the next person, he takes up the case. He says, please, sir, take a look at it. I recommend this person. That is what is Srila Prabhupada. He said that chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, and associate with the devotees. I guarantee you that you will go back to Godhead. That is our ultimate purpose. And he also said, it doesn't matter whether, it's Hindu, Muslim, Christian, nothing matters. What matters is, do you accept there is a God and do you want to love that God? Actually, that is what it is. Any scripture, any religion you take, there is a supreme power. He is referred to as God. Sometimes there is a name, form given, sometimes it is not given. The best thing about Srila Prabhupada is that when Srila Prabhupada came to America, he said that I have a name for the God. I have a name. His name is Kṛṣṇa. And I have a form, Shyamasundara. This is how he looks. And guess what? I have his zip code also. I know where he lives. I have a location for him. Wow, all the reporters went crazy. Really? You have all this information? Actually, we have all this information. That's the beauty of our Veda knowledge base. So Guru should be selfless. Many Gurus may be selfless, not a question. Is he self-realized, God-realized? First, you have to have self-realization. Who am I? That question has to be answered. Unless you know what is your relationship with God, how are you going to have a complete understanding? Many times, there is a philosophy that I am God, so hum. That is it. I am that. Everything is that. In one way, yes, it is correct. That is why Srila Prabhupada, he gave us this wonderful philosophy as given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Achinta Beda Abeda. We are one, yet we are not the same. Why? We are like the ocean drop. The ocean drop and the ocean, if somebody takes up to the science lab, they would say, yes, this is ocean. It's got all the qualities of the ocean. But what is the problem then? The quantity, the magnitude. Kṛṣṇa, our soul, which is part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa, it's got the exact same Satchit Ananda quality of Kṛṣṇa. But why we are not Kṛṣṇa? Because we are so limited. Kṛṣṇa could expand to 8 million miles just as a fish form. How much can we expand? I subconsciously, when I am with tall people, I try to expand myself. I want to just a little bit stretch. I see that can I improve my height by a few, maybe 0.00 centimeters, I try to expand. We have the ability to expand a little bit, but Kṛṣṇa is infinite. So that's the difference. We cannot be God. We cannot be Kṛṣṇa. So there is many philosophies floating around that says we are God. They also quote the Shastras. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. Everything is from God. I'm also God. If everything is God, I'm also God. That's a way of, but no, we are not. We are part and parcel of God. We have all the elements of Him, but we are very, very limited, very insignificant compared to the Supreme Person. The best position of the Guru is the well-wisher. There cannot be a better well-wisher than the Guru. And he has to, again, devotees, a Guru has to lead us to Kṛṣṇa. If that is not happening, please analyze the path. See what is going on. Bhagavatam talks about Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti, Sabdayati. Everything, see, our Shastra is so wonderful. It doesn't leave any room for any kind of second thought or ifs and buts. There is a concept, Brahmeti, correct, Brahman. And Paramatmeti, that Paramatma is situated, Aham Atma Gula Kesa, Sarva Bhutasya Sthita, Aham Adimcha, Antamcha, Bhutanam, Antevacha. Arjuna, I'm seated in everybody's heart. That's true. Then there is a concept of Paramatma. He's seated. But Bhagavan, that is what is the most wonderful thing out of all this concept. And we concentrate on Bhagavan. So automatically Brahman and Paramatma is already taken care of. Why do you want to keep it as an incomplete story just going up to the Brahman level? Why? I have seen so many people, they just say, yeah, Brahman is everything. I am part of the Brahman. Kṛṣṇa is also part of the Brahman. That is their philosophy. Not really, because Kṛṣṇa if you are going to read Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa says everything is him. Aham sarvasya prabhav. So very briefly, Shubha Vilas Prabhuji, how many more minutes we have?
Prabhuji, as per the schedule and some other plans which devotees have, we have about 9 minutes.
Oh,
so
I'll make it very fast. So
we'll see if there are any questions, and
yeah, sure.
Devotees also we can see. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so I'll keep this very brief. Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, I don't think there is any better literature than that. It explains, only Srila Prabhupada is able to explain this. Who am I? I'm a jiva. What is the condition here? The prakriti, the actions, time, kala, and finally Kṛṣṇa. Never we should forget Kṛṣṇa. Whereas in many other philosophy, the concept of Bhagavan is completely eliminated. So we got to be very careful on that part. So very briefly, I would like to glorify Srila Prabhupada, his philosophy of simple living, higher thinking. Amazing. This is the Guru's job. He has to teach us how to be happy. You can be happy only if you live very simple and have high thinking. What is that high thinking? Thinking about Kṛṣṇa. And temples, who could have done and at what time phase? This spiritual superstar, I call him as a superstar, spiritual superstar, at the age of 70, 108 temples within a span of 10, 11, 12 years. It's only a miracle, completely empowered by Kṛṣṇa. And his books, we know, we do book distribution at Tampa, unparalleled. The type of books he has written and the proper meaning and the purport. His purports are amazing. Without his purports, we would not have the knowledge that we have today. The vegetarian Govinda's restaurant offering prasadam to the deities. By the way, Govinda's is considered as the largest vegetarian chain with almost like 60 plus Govinda's restaurant. And this is all done many years ago, where technology was not that much advanced. By one young person, he was only 70 years old. Ratha Yatra. He brought Lord Jagannath to the world outside, world trip. I'll take you, not just Jagannath Puri, entire world. His Gurukul that he started. What is Gurukul? To understand the Guru and the Shastras and Bhagavan. He started so many schools. This is a comment by one Professor Kailash Vajpayee. He says how wonderfully Srila Prabhupada has written this Bhagavad Gita as it is. And finally, what is the purpose of life? We have taken so many births, 8.4 million species. The ultimate goal, if with this human form, if you are not going to understand Kṛṣṇa, it's a waste. We would have wasted. It's a tragedy. And as I said, Srila Prabhupada used to say it's a spiritual suicide. So at this point, are there any thoughts, comments, questions? Please feel free to add anything.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful discussion and this wonderful slides and sharing the importance of bona fide spiritual master. One devotee has asked this question anonymously. So, first of all, thank you for this wonderful class. And can you explain, I'm just reading the question, can you explain how to choose a guru within our movement? As we see, we have so many bona fide spiritual masters in ISKCON, but devotees are not able to choose right guru for themselves. Some follow the lobby, some follow the herd mentality, some follow how eloquent guru speaks, or some how wonderful or enjoyable their kirtan is, or something that this particular guru belongs to my culture or my color of skin. So, or someone may see this guru has this many projects or whatnot, or on some other bodily conception. So, can you help us understand how to properly choose this guru in the ISKCON
Sure.
environment.
It is said, I've heard from, again, from very advanced devotees and Maharaj and so on, if you are sincere, if your intention is really sincere to advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will send you a guru. Otherwise, let us very briefly analyze, how come Srila Prabhupada came to America? Thousands and thousands of people, they have never heard the term Guru or Krishna. How did their life change? Krishna consciousness is a life-changing transformation. It's just not one of the activity. It is the activity. So if you are sincere, Krishna will send you a guru, and that guru will again take you back to Krishna. So if you're sincere, otherwise we have to understand, Srila Prabhupada initiated 5,000 disciples, devotees, 5,000 in his short term. So now going back to the question of who shall I accept as a guru, even within the ISKCON, each one of it, that is also a choice given by Krishna only. Krishna is unlimited. So in a way, he is also giving us this unlimited kind of taste and preferences and so on. Some Maharaj, we may like their lectures, as you said very rightly, some projects and so on. My humble kind of experience is that you think what is good, where will you fit nicely? If you think, if you're really super, enthusiastic about Kirtan or book distribution, and if you see that one of the Maharaj main concentration was book distribution, you see whether you will fit into that or not. It is not necessary that what we think and what we fit are two different things. We may not be even qualified to do book distribution. We may like other people seeing, wow, how nicely he's doing book distribution. So we should not be disappointed in that way. It is not of course, the Maharaj also, they would go through a process where they will, that is why you have the choice to select any bona fide ISKCON Maharaj as your guru. There is no limitation. Even in our ISKCON Kansas City temple, there were some devotees, they came, they had a very nice interaction with Maharaj. They wanted to take initiation from some other Maharaj. And there were also other devotees from other temples. They were associated with another Maharaj, but they wanted to take initiation from my Guru Maharaj. So it is a very personal thing. And in my thinking, it is arranged by Krishna. He will send you, if you are sincere, if you're sincerely wanting to advance, you go and seek Krishna's mercy. Krishna, please guide me. Shubhalas Prabhuji, would you like to add?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful response. Thank you. Anyone else has any other comments, questions, additions? Natasha Mataji wants to say something. Yes, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, my question is, when we get in touch with people of different faiths, like somebody is Christian or somebody is Muslim, and they are following their path in their understanding, and I say in their understanding because they are still doing meat eating and all that. And we see how, Prabhupada said that everybody is fine if they are following their religion perfectly. But in their mind, they are following their religion perfectly. How and should we try to influence them? And how to approach that, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nirbhay Prabhu, it's so nice to see you. Your association at the Kansas City Temple was wonderful. Hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhu. Again, quoting Srila Prabhupada, he said that we are not a cult of vegan or vegetarian or yoga. No, we are not. Our goal is Krishna. And when we say Krishna, he said that Krishna is God. So if somebody wants to follow another bona fide, that is why we need the Shastra. If somebody, let's say you said Christians, they have a bona fide scripture, they have the Bible, Jesus is considered as the Son of God. Okay, if you want to believe it, I mean, take him as God. That is, Srila Prabhupada used to glorify Jesus Christ tremendously during the Christmas time. He said that who will really allow that to happen to somebody to make other people understand about God? He must be the highest, kind of a son of God or follower of God. So there is no question about that. So we are not really too much, we should not get into too much technicality of, it's a natural tendency because we like it. What Srila Prabhupada prescribed was that once if you start believing and following Kṛṣṇa, everything will go away by itself. We have a living example. We don't have to go anywhere. Within ISKCON, there are so many Europeans, Russians, Americans. They were born with meat and liquor and everything, their lifestyle was different. But how they have become a pure Vaishnavas? How did it happen? Because they believed in Kṛṣṇa. Once, if you love somebody, we have seen so many movies and read so many novels. A man loves another woman and he is willing to give up everything. I'm ready to fall from the top of the hill. He's willing to give his life. Why? Because he thinks he loves that person. The real love is love for Kṛṣṇa. If we really love, all the anarthas will go away. Kṛṣṇa doesn't want us to eat meat. And see, that's one of the best things about this Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Let us for a moment, even if we don't give so much importance to Kṛṣṇa, look at the lifestyle. Very healthy lifestyle. We eat everything, our eating habits are very good. We wake up early. If you go to a doctor today, Prabhuji, you are a doctor, so I don't have to quote anything to you. But if you go to a doctor, they are prescribing exactly what Kṛṣṇa prescribed. That's it. They are giving a medical phrase. That's it. But Kṛṣṇa has already said, do this, this, this. So I think we should follow Kṛṣṇa, and whatever Srila Prabhupada has told us, everything will go. We don't have to force anybody to do anything. That may many times act as a counter action. People might get a little bit aloof. They would say, hey, you are too much restrictive. They will slowly. That is why we have programs like Bhakti Vriksha and Home Program, where the new people come in. Srila Prabhupada said that the best preaching is living by example. Srila Prabhupada himself is such an example. He lived by his example. So that's what we should do. They should ask, oh, Nirbhay Prabhu, you seem to be so happy all the time, always smiling. How is it happening? What is going on? And I'm, so much under stress. Then you can say, hey, why don't you come to the home program? That's it. The life changing. So many people's life have been transformed just by taking prasadam. They may be completely meat eaters, but just by taking prasadam, hearing Krishna Katha, getting engaged in Kirtan, their life has been transformed.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nirbhay Prabhu. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to ask or share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandapranam. Sorry, Prabhuji. Hope you are able to hear. Very wonderful Krishna Katha, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, small question about Shiksha Guru. So we can have multiple Shiksha Gurus also, right, Prabhuji? Or also, do we need to have one specific Shiksha Guru, or we can have multiple Shiksha Gurus for guidance, or something like that? Until of course, because sometimes we'll not have access to Diksha Guru all the time. You can enlighten me.
Yes. This is again a very nice process in ISKCON. You can have as many as Shiksha Gurus. You can. When we join, all our the senior devotees, the devotee might be even, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Jare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Ubadesa. A person might be only 1 month, senior to you. He just joined, but he has understood something about Krishna and he is sharing that with you. He can be, he can become in one way your, Shiksha Guru. But Diksha Guru is something different. Diksha Guru is like you taking a Guru, your relationship completely changes, that he becomes your spiritual father. So we have to understand. And then it has been arranged by Kṛṣṇa again. That is what I've been told. Your relationship with Diksha Guru is given by Kṛṣṇa. So we have to have that faith that this Guru has been given to me by Kṛṣṇa. Everything is arranged by Kṛṣṇa, but especially the relationship with Diksha Guru, it is said that it is eternal. It is just not this lifetime that, oh, maybe I got somebody as a Diksha Guru. Shall I look for something else? It's not like switching YouTube channel or a TV channel. I'm not too impressed with this. Maybe shall I go and check another? No. Every Guru, the Shishya, the relationship, how Arjuna became Krishna's Shishya. And maybe his older brother Yudhishthira himself is a very qualified person, very learned. He can fit into the position of a Shiksha Guru. But I think Arjuna did the right thing. Otherwise, he could have gone and asked his brother, right? He did not. If I were in Arjuna's shoes, first I will do, can I go and talk to my brother? But hey, what shall I do? I'm a little bit confused. But he had that discrimination we should always utilize. That free will. In my thinking, devotees, the best free will we can ever use is try to understand Krishna. Hopefully, I was able to answer the question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, and as you said, ISKCON, we have that opportunity to, this kind of Shiksha Guru and teacher. Thank you so much.
Exactly. We have that, a wonder. That's why every day I'm so impressed with this process, is that everything is nice, no room for speculation. We don't have to spend time unnecessarily. Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already have done all the groundwork for us. We don't have to create new philosophy.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful question answer sessions as well. So I think we can pause here, by your permission. Okay, so I hope you all relish this wonderful katha and the importance of Guru and how to choose Guru, what to see, spiritual attachment, etc. So we'd like to express our deep gratitude to His Grace Sridama Prabhu for sharing such wonderful verses and lessons and stories from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And not just speaking, but actually, as he said, he's living by those examples. So we're very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can I just add one more thing as a final note, if I may? I know we are running out of time.
Please, Prabhuji.
Just my last, one time, Srila Prabhupada asked his disciple, how do you can accept Krishna is God? So different devotees were giving different answer. One Prabhu said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, 1866. One devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, you told Krishna is God. So Srila Prabhupada said, no. Then finally one disciple said, Srila Prabhupada, I realize Krishna. I feel Krishna. So finally, it is a realization. After we have read the Shastra, after we have interacted with the sadhus and the gurus, after we have seen Krishna's pastime, heard his stories, everything, finally, what is that make or break is that, do we have the realization, that loving relationship with Krishna? If we are not able to develop that, it is going to take a much longer time to progress. And this is such a wonderful thing. Here is the path and the destination is one and the same. Krishna consciousness, the path is, I am a servant of Krishna. The destination, I am a servant of Krishna. That is, our position doesn't change. Haribol Prabhuji, thank you for sharing my thoughts.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that wonderful point. So we'll express our deep gratitude to His Grace Sridama Prabhu for all this wonderful time and katha by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bo, Hari Bo,
Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo.
Tantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Sridama Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and all the devotees. Thank you. Very
allowing
cool.
me to share with us.